Hello, welcome to Cracking the Cryptic, and what a day for the channel. So we are appearing in the Wall Street Journal, and I mentioned this yesterday, but I hadn't seen it then. I have now. If you were to go to the number puzzles if you are subscribed to the Wall Street Journal, you could go to Arts, WSJ Puzzles, and then Number Puzzles, and see that today we're launching a regular pair of brilliant Sudoku puzzles curated for the Wall Street Journal by Simon Anthony and Mark Goodliffe of Cracking the Cryptic, the world's most popular YouTube Sudoku channel. They're not like ordinary Sudokus, so good luck. And that's great. What they've asked us to do is to provide 2 puzzles a week, one of which is a new puzzle and fairly approachable, one of which is from the great puzzles we've solved on the channel, and we're delighted to do that. The one in today's is a puzzle by Kane Puzzles from about 8 weeks ago. It's absolutely fabulous, and I believe that Kane Puzzles, who's an 18-year-old Turkish guy, is using the fact that he's now appeared in the Wall Street Journal as a speciality marker in his university submission. That's brilliant. That's exactly what he deserves to do. Any university would be lucky to recruit that young man, who I have met and is very good company. Well done. Right, now that's the Wall Street Journal. That's quite interesting for us. Of course, we will be streaming on Monday evening, going back to the Blue Prince house. Looking forward to that. I don't know if I've got my notes with me in my new location. We'll find out. We've got all of our apps feature Line Thermo Sudoku and Line Sudoku and Fog of War, and of course the worms such as Michael Lefkowitz's and Phistomefel. Do check those out. You can also find your way to SVEN'S SUDOKU PAD in the links, and Patreon, where there's still just a chance to get in time to enter Extra Byte by Skunkworks, the 5x5 series of puzzles in this month's Patreon reward, and my crossword series is complete, solving Spider by Sabre. Tomorrow there'll be a new connections video. Later in the month there'll be more crossword videos. It just goes on and on. It's fantastic. We just try and bring you more and more, and we're working ourselves to a crisp doing it. But hey, it's for your benefit and we love you guys. Now, today's puzzle, let's have a look at what this says. Slow Thermos by Craig Henderson. I don't know Craig, but I'm looking forward to giving it a try. I'm going to go through the rules. Oh, no, there's one other thing to mention. Tomorrow at 4 p.m. UK time, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, Glum Hippo is doing a talk online on snake egg puzzles and Sudokus and the theorems behind them, which is going to be really interesting. Glum Hippo created a pack for us a year ago that was all based on snake eggs, and it was fascinating. And that was one of our patron rewards. That's what you can get. But it'll be a very interesting talk, I imagine. I think there's a Facebook link, and I will post that below the blurb about today's puzzle by Craig, and you can join it tomorrow. Do consider watching Glum Hippo. Great friend of the channel, very personable guy. And there you go. That's happening tomorrow. So much going on. I'm not claiming CTC is bringing you that. That is entirely down to Philip, who is brilliant. But let's have a look at the rules of Slow Thermos. Normal Sudoku rules apply. 1 to 9 in every row, every column, and every 3x3 box. Digits on a thermometer must increase or stay the same as they move away from the bulb, but never decrease. So that if that was a 1, that could be a 1. This would then have to be a 2 because they're in the same row and Sudoku rules require a change. Or what I mean is at least a 2. So those are the rules. Give this puzzle a try on the first link under the video. I am going to start now. Let's get cracking. So this is where to start because, well, I think there are 2 possibilities for each cell. I'm going to try marking this up. Hang on a second. Sorry to be interrupted right at the beginning. Right. My apologies for that nothing interruption. I think we can put 2 possibilities in each cell. And and then worry about which one is right. I mean, there's a lot of these, yeah, but that was easy here because that cell extends through 8 cells of this column. So obviously they have to increase as we go up, as we go down the column from the beginning of the thermo. What is that? What happens if we mark this up? What's going to happen to these cells versus these? I'm interested in that. So this is a bit shorter. I'm going to try 1, 2, 3, 4. That may be going too far, but let's see what happens as we mark this up. So let's again try and save a tiny second or two by highlighting 2 cells at once. Now I've got that right because we're going to end with a 9 in the last cell. 4 possibilities in each. Now what happens here? We haven't used the digits 1, 2, and 3. So in this box, 1, 2, and 3 go in the center. That's very neat. Now, the trouble is this goes slightly less far than this one. So, well, I don't know. I don't know what we're going to get. No, I do know something. Right, that is a 4, 5, 6, 7 quad. There we go. So these digits are 8 and 9, and then I can put 9 here and 8 here. So I've done some digits. And there's an 8 in one of these 2 cells, and I don't believe that it can possibly be here because those 2 are both higher than that digit. So we've placed 8 in box 4 as well. I mean, I say that as though it's a note of triumph. It really isn't. Right, where does 9 go in this box? Because these digits have to keep increasing. 9 must be on the end of the thermo because that 9 has ruled it out of those cells, which is the important bit. Where does I was going to say, where does 8 go in this box? Okay, it's one of those 2 cells by Sudoku effectively now. Oh, well, there's an interesting point, maybe, because of these cells. What I'm going to say is that if that was a 5, even if that was a 6, 6, 7, and 8 would have to appear in these 3 cells. And where would they go in box 2? They'd all have to cram into those 2 cells, which would be like playing sardines in a house too small. So that is not a 6. The same is true about 5, 7, 8 or 5, 6, 8. They can't cram into those cells. This is not even a 5. This is 4 or 3. And then we can take everything down by removing the top 2 digits as we go back to the bulb. And we're getting a bit more streamlined on this thermo. I didn't feel I could change that or this. That's 3 or 4. Yeah, if this was a 7, that would be a 7-8 pair. And I think that works okay. Actually, this thermo may be the best one because every cell it takes in this box has to be an increase. And then once it's got into this box, every cell is an increase. So actually, I think there are only 2 possibilities. I did not realize that when I was beginning. Wow. So there we go. Now you're wondering, where does 7 and 8 go in this box? And you're saying to me, they can't go on that bulb. Is that right? If that was a 7, it's quite interesting. If we hadn't put that 8 there, we could go 7, or that 8 there. We could go 7, 7, 8, 9, 9. So this could theoretically have been a 7, but it can't be now because 8 is ruled off this line entirely. So 7 and 8 in box 1 are there. And this has to be lower than those. But which digit it is, I don't know yet. 9's in one of those 2 cells, and that's quite interesting because it's not on the tip of this thermo, which is also not 8. So that is at most 7. I'm going to put 7, 6, 5, 4, 3 into that, because couldn't this go 3, 2, 1, 1? I mean, I almost wish I hadn't started marking that up because this amount of pencil marking, which Simon would call goodliffing, is admittedly looking ridiculous now. I mean, I cannot deny the truth of that. However, it has taught me, as just thinking about it wouldn't have, where 9 goes in box 4. And then I can put 9 into this row. No, I can't, because 9 could be here. So 9's in one of those 2 cells. That's really interesting. The only way 9 can be there is if it's also here. And that's quite possible with slow thermos. Okay, this is very neat, by the way. I didn't... Oh, look, I've got a 2-3 pair in the row and a 7-8 pair. So that digit is a 1. And the other ones in the row are from... Well, we haven't had 9 yet, but 9... Oh, we know where 9 is now because we got the 9 in box 4. That's 9. This must be, I think, 4, 5, or 6, because those are the only uncertain digits remaining. Now, that 1 gives us the 1 in this bulb, and that gives us a very important 2 there, and that's going to let us complete this whole thermo. And this isn't too bad. This is, so far, quite an approachable puzzle. 8 there is necessary to bind up this thermo. That 8 sees this cell, and this bulb digit has been determined by being the last one available, and it's the most unhelpful one available. It's a 1. Now, this can't be as high as 7 because we'd need 8 there and 9 here, and this absolutely can't be an 8. So this is less than 7, and it's not 3 or 4. So it's 2, 5, or 6. Probably 2, but I literally don't know the answer. Right, what about this box? We've got 2, 3, 4, and 5. This digit sees a 1, 2, 3 set, so that's 4 or 5. This one is 2, 3, 4, or 5. That one is now looking at a 7, 6 pair, so that is 4 or 5. And this one now can't be 6 or 5. Actually, they're even in the column to prove that. The only place for 1 in this column is now down at the bottom, which doesn't do anything else. Yes, it does. There's only one place for 1 in this column now. That's interesting. So it did a Sudoku move rather than a thermo move to put 1 there. Now we have to put 1 in one of these cells, and it can't be there on the thermo. So 7 is now... Where is 7 in this row? It can't be here by Sudoku, not by thermo, but by Sudoku. So that's a 7. This digit is 2, 3, or 4. That's a triple. Right, I'm going to consider this little straight lollipop thermo now. 1, 8, 3, 4 can't be on it. So we're selecting from 2, 5, 6, 7, 9. Never afraid to pencil mark. And 7 must be on this thermo because of that. And that means this can't be a 6 at the end. But I'm still hamstrung by the fact that this could be a 9. Actually, if that's not a 9, oh yeah, then this is a 9 and that's a 9. Okay, no, wrong question. 1, 2, 3, 8, 9 in this column. So these are from 4, 5, 6, 7. Now my pencil marking habit is going into overdrive and not helping. But I'm going to have a look at this row where I haven't placed a 9 yet. And that is a very good question. Where does 9 go? It cannot go here because of that. And all of these are somehow impossible to be 9 for various reasons. So I'm going to put a 9 there, and that is going to put a second 9 on its thermo. This is where slow thermos get very odd because they get repeat digits on them, and we're expected to understand it as perfectly normal. Now, 2 has to appear in this box somewhere, and we've got a 2 in the corner saying it's not here. So we're going to put it on the thermo, and then we've finished the lollipop down here with a 5, 6, 7. One of these 2 is an 8, and actually that tells me that this digit is not an 8. Because if, no, hang on, it tells me this digit is not an 8. Because if that was an 8, this would also have to be an 8 on this thermo, and that would kill off the possibilities for 8 there. So this final digit on that long thermo, which we've done very little of finally, is a 9. But that's going to give us 9 in row 8, again on that same thermo. These are from 3, 4, or 8. They don't include 2 as a possibility. Okay. This can't be 2. I've only just noticed that. There's going to be some other key question about, like, where's the 1 in this row, or what is it going to be? This is from 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, it can't be 2. That's almost incredibly unhelpful. Those are also from 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, this group of cells is 3, 5, 8 by just looking at the top row and what's left. That means this can't be 5, this can't be 3 or 5. Much more importantly, this can't be 3 and is 2. And that gives us another 2 there. This digit is now a 4. That digit is not a 4. This is in fact a 6, 7 pair. And that's not a 2. And now we can place the 2 in this column, and that's here in the useless position near the beginning of the thermo. Right, that's 6 or 7. That hasn't affected this digit at all. Okay, here's a good point. Where is 2 in this box? It's not there or there by Sudoku, or there, because of these 2's. So it's on this thermo. Now, I don't know which position it's in, but whether you put 2 here or here, this digit is not 3, 4, or 5 anymore further up the thermo. So that is now 1 or 2. That can't be 5 as well. I've just spotted a 5 lurking in this row, a 6 in the next, and a 7 in the next. Right, what's going on here? I can't see... No, I can see every possible digit in those candidates. Oh, look, there's a 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 quintuple in row 6. And only one of those can be a 7. So that is a 7. What I was discovering there is that these 2 are a 1-2 pair in the row. They're the only places 1 and 2 can go. And that hasn't really advanced the discoveries I made about 2 here. But now that 7 is either going to... It's not going to work down the line, so it's going to work up the line. This becomes 7, that's 8, that's 8. By Sudoku, this is not 8, this is 8 in the corner. And these are 7, that's blindingly obvious. Okay, let's have a look at this row. That is 3 or 5 because it sees 4 and 7. Where's 8 in this column? It's clearly there at the top. Oh, goodness, it's not done, this puzzle. It won't give up and shake itself down. 7, 8, 5, 9. I'm just missing something now. This is not a 4. No, now I'm just pencil marking. No, hang on. That's a 3, 4, 5 triple, so we've placed 6 in the column. Is that going to do anything? That's a 3, 4, 5 triple as well. We've got all sorts of 3, 4, 5 triples. I'm beginning to wonder vaguely about colouring them. But would that be a step onto the dark side too far? Can this be a 2? Both of these would be 1s. If it's not a 2, I can place 2 in the row, and then I think I get some advance. Oh, these can't be 6s because I've got a 6 in the box. That didn't do anything, did it? So can this be a 1? That's almost an interesting question. If that was a 1, these would both have to be 2s. I mean, I suspect they are the same digit in either case, but, oh, this can't be 7. There's only one place for 7 in this row. I mean, this is the sort of thing that I can just about spot through pencil marking, and Simon can sort of see it mystically. He just knows what's going on as these slow thermos interact with each other. I have to be a bit more, let's call it mechanical about the process. I'm not actually a robot. I just come off like one some of the time. Now, one of those is definitely a 4. Yeah, in the column, one of those is a 4, so I'm eliminating 4 from those cells. These are gradually narrowing down, not to anything I can use, of course, good Lord, no, but reducing at least. Is it going to be this column that gives me something? 8, 4, 9. One of these two is a 7. Therefore, one of these two is a 7. And we already know one of those two is a 7. That's weird. It doesn't actually do much. If this was not a 7, this would be a 3, 4, 5 triple. And that would have to be 2, 1. That's quite interesting. Then 2 and 1 would both be done in the first column. No, can't quite see where that one goes. That digit is the same as that one because it has to appear in box 9. If it's a 3, if that's a 4, that's a 4, and then that's a 4. I'm quite irritated that we've reduced the two candidate cells of this thermo to just the middle 5, but can't go further than that yet. Again, that's probably down to me. 7, 8, 5, 9. This digit, it's not allowed to be 4. So the 4 in this row is in one of those two cells. That does allow me to eliminate 4 from those cells. Well, that now puts 4 into one of these cells, and we know 4 is in one of those. So we know 4 repeats on this thermo, and I turn to that with my arms widespread, pleading for it to help me, and it's not doing it. I don't know what that means. Oh, also, that 4, 5, 6 triple doesn't have 6 as a possibility there. So one of those is definitely a 6, and that's not a 6. And now we know where 6 goes in this column, and that's not going to help with the thermo because it goes there. This digit's not a 6. Now we've got 6 in this box. And it's gradually getting closer, but not finishing. I think it's all about this one, and I don't know what the trick is. If that was 3, 2, 1, 4, 5, and a 7, then the finish would be 6. If this wasn't 7, that would be 6. I don't know. That's not interesting enough. One of these is a 1. I do know that. One of these is a 5. I do know that, and I don't really care, if I'm honest. It doesn't make any difference. Very strange that this is difficult to finish, because it's not been properly hard to this point. It's now suddenly got properly hard. Okay, the puzzle that gets tougher as it goes. 2, 3, 4, 5. What do I know about those? Not a lot. Got that? 3, 4, 5 triple. I think it is time to start colouring 3s, 4s, and 5s. Those two digits are clearly the same. I feel like they're definitely going to be sitting there as well, but that is not sort of feeling that really counts for anything. So let's call that grey, and that orange. This is grey in the row. So grey is always 4 or 5. That can't be 3. I mean, that's absolutely not helping, but I hadn't realised I could narrow that down a little. Now, 3, 4, 5. So that could be 3 if it was orange. Grey, grey. One of these is grey. Oh, that's 4, 5 pair, isn't it? Is that any use? No, this could be blue if it was 4. I don't think I've taken the right approach here, sadly. That is the other digit from 4 or 5 that's not grey. So it's also the same as that. So those two are definitely the same. But I don't know if they're blue or orange. But they are the same as each other. It's so weird. This could well be the same as blue, but it might also not be the same as blue. It couldn't be grey. It would have to be orange if it was not the same as blue. Then that would be blue. I don't understand how to do the puzzle. I've done so many slow thermos, and yet the whole principle still eludes me completely. Right, let's just find some wonderful Sudoku. 9 and 8 are done in this column. That can't be 1 or 7 or 5, which is in one of those two cells. This is 2, 3, 4, or 6. I mean, maybe some random pencil marking will help me somewhere in this column. It's very unlikely, I know, but I have to try and come up with a possibility that we'll do. Oh, that digit. Oh, no, I was going to say it has to be there, but it could be there, so that wasn't true. If that's a 7, that's definitely a 7. If that was a 6, this is lower. Okay, let's just think about that. If that was a 6, this is not the same digit. This is part of the 3, 4, 5 triple, which is making that 2, that 1, and this 7. Now we'd have 6, 7, 2, 1 here, as well as 9 and 8. We'd yet again be using this 3, 4, 5 triple that I just can't get a handle on at the moment. If that was orange, this would be orange, and orange would be 5. If it was blue, well, then I don't know. This could actually then be orange. That's weird that these could be different. I thought they were going to be the same, but I'm not sure anymore. Yeah, they are the same, because whatever this is has to appear in one of these 3 cells because of its color. And it's got to be that one. So they are definitely the same. This is driving me crazy. I was doing fine, and now I've stumbled to a halt. 7, 8, 9. One of these is a 1. Oh, thermos, what are you doing to me? So if that was a 3, this would go 3, 2, 1, 4, 5, 7. And we'd have 3, 4, 7 in this row. Then this would be 5 and 1. Just trying to see why something might fail. Not finding it yet. I'm most amused, absolutely tickled by the puzzle, but I haven't figured it out. That 4-5 pair means that's not 5. I haven't seen that. It's probably not going to do anything, but it's so annoying not to have been able to tell that that was the case. If that was a 2. 2, 1, 1. I don't know what that does to this. If it's a 3, that's a 2, that's a 1, and this is a 2. So these are, well, yeah, okay, these are always 1 apart. They can't be a 3-1 pair. I knew that because I knew 2 was on this line. I worked that out long ago, and it's not actually helped me at all, has it? Why is this puzzle proving so difficult? 7, 8, 5, 9. This can't be a 4. One of those is a 4. We've known that for ages. What's the right question here? Okay, let's say I started in the wrong place with grey, orange and blue. It's certainly worth considering that these two are known to be the same. So I'll keep them in a colour. Let's make it purple now. Now, what can I actually do with that? Okay, what if this was a 3? This thermo would be forced to be 4, 4, 5, and that digit would be a 3. Oh, that's quite interesting. Right, this doesn't work. Okay. So if that was a 4, that's where it doesn't work, because you'd go 4, 5, 3, 4, 5, and you'd have 2 5s in the central box. That's very hard to see. Do forgive me, but that's hard. This must now be a 3, and I think that's probably going to do most of the puzzle. And famous last words, but that 3 sorts out all the chocolate teapot quadruple that was fouling up this box for me. That's now a 5. This is 4. That's 3. Now that's not going to resolve this thermo with the purple cells, but does resolve that digit and that one, and now we did the work on the purple. I'm cashing in, and I know that they're both 4s, and this digit is a 3, and now I am going to be able to finish with a 3 in the corner. That's 3 in the corner. That's 3 in the spot. Light. Fixing up my thermo. This is not 3 or 6 or 2. This seems to have to be a naked 4. There we go. Lovely. Sees every other digit in the row and column. That's 7. That's 6. That's 7. This is 5. We've got a 6 and a 2 and a 3. It is resolving the rest of the puzzle, but it was a tough step in that middle box. How entertaining. Very good, Craig. Little bit of tricksiness right in there halfway through, and that's a half-hour solve. I mean, I really enjoyed it, but it was very tough actually to race along for a bit and then completely stop. I mean, I'll be interested. Is that the only way to resolve it, by noting that making one of these? I don't know if you even had to start with this one. Maybe you could have started with this one and it would have had the same problem down here, but beautiful, beautiful stuff, Craig. Love it. Thank you all for watching us on the channel. Don't forget Philip's talk tomorrow. Don't forget our streaming on Monday as well. If you can join us for that, that would be amazing. It'll be at 10 p.m. our time, which is 5 p.m. Eastern Standard. And then the clocks will change soon after that here. Not sure exactly. Well, I should know exactly when. and I don't. We'll tell you a bit more nearer the time. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.